welcome back to my channel. As usual, it is your favorite baby girl on the Girlness Door. How have you been? Yes, it's been a long while that I've been here. Some challenges here and there. Oh, thank God for everything. It is actually better now. I want to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you so much for believing in me. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. And if today is your first time of coming across my channel, please do me a favor. By subscribing to the channel, click on the subscription button that you can see there. And when you do so, also click on the notification bell so that each time I upload a video, you get to see that video. Today on the channel, as I promised you in the last video, we are going to be talking about my pregnancy journey. That was a different ballgame altogether. After I finally tested positive, that was when the main journey actually started. Yes, it wasn't an easy one. The truth is that I did not really feel all those morning sicknesses. No, I did not. Initially, there was no vomiting. There was no sickness. Each day I go to bed, I just wake up very strong in the morning. But then, the thing, I started being averse to smell and certain food. Before I got pregnant, I used to like fish a lot. As in, when I say a lot, I was a lover of fish. But immediately, I tested positive, or some days after. It was as if fish became in fact, I don't know the adjective to use to describe it, but fish became my number one enemy. Whenever I perceive the smell of fish, it will be as if the whole world is turning around. I'll feel so dizzy to the extent that if care is not taken, I'll start vomiting at that spot. And that was how your sister stopped eating fish. Oh, was it even only fish? Even meat. I could not eat meat. Me of all persons that used to love meat as if there is nothing else in this world. I could not eat meat too. The only thing I was even managing to take at all was stockfish, the very, very dry one, not the soft one. I will have to make sure that it's very dry before it can even enter my mouth. Was it even only that one? I stopped eating my own food, the food I prepare with my own hands. Just imagine somebody will cook. After cooking, if I don't leave my house and stay outside for at least 4 hours, I cannot taste that food though. It was not funny at all. And then, can you guess what? Do you know what I started craving for? Sand! Sand, of all things. Whenever I see sand, I just feel like packing it and filling everything, putting everything in my mouth. Most times, if I'm walking on the road, I'll just go close to where they have sand. When people are not looking, I'll just take a little of it and dip in my mouth. It was that bad. But then, those were not even my problem. When my pregnancy now got to around 6 weeks, around 6 weeks, I started having discharge. It was a brownish discharge. At first, I was not taking it as anything. I felt as I browsed the net and I saw that yes, sometimes when you are pregnant that you can have discharge. So to me, it was just nothing. But that discharge gradually turned to spotting, and very bright red spotting. Or more, see the way that I had to rush to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, the doctor checked and everything, and then he said that they need to place me on progesterone injection for 1 month. Then after the 1 month, I will have to do a scan to be sure that the baby is still there. That day I cried. I so cried that my husband did not even know how to console me. But then I had to adhere to the doctor's instruction. I started taking the injection. Me that I don't even like taking injection, but do I have any choice? I just have to make sure that baby stays. So I started taking the injection, and after 1 month, I went back to the hospital and the doctor had to do a scan. My dear, after the scan, I even got the worst news of my life. The doctor said that he could not hear my baby's heartbeat, as in this baby finally, after everything, after all the buzzwords, and I finally took in. And then they are telling me they cannot hear my baby's heartbeat. It was as if the whole world was turning around for me. In fact, it was as if the air should open. Let it just swallow me. Let me die. What do you mean by you cannot hear my baby's heartbeat? I left the hospital. I went home. No, first of all, I went to the chapel to pray. When I got to the chapel, kneeling down before the Blessed Sacrament, because I am a Catholic, the only thing I told God is that, you see, oh, this baby, I asked you for this baby and you gave me this baby. Is it that you don't really feel that I'm going to be a good mother to take care of this baby, that you want me to lose this baby at this stage? After praying, I went home. I cried that day all through the day, all through the night. Even the next day, I was still crying. I cried and cried till my husband could not console me. So he now called my sister. It was my sister that even called me after talking to me. I said, well, it is not really in my hands. It is in the hands of the God. If God decides that he wants to take this baby from me, who am I? So I had to console myself. The doctor was actually saying that if after 2 weeks I come for the scan again and say there is no heartbeat, they will have to evacuate me so that the baby, as in they will flush out the baby since there is no heartbeat. For that 2 weeks, I was asked not to do anything. I was practically lying down on the bed, no movement. I brush on the bed. I eat on the bed. In fact, was I even bathing? Most times my husband just have to clean my body. I really, in fact, see, this is me officially saying a very big thank you to the kind of man that God gave me, because he practically took over the running of the house. He was the one that did the cooking for me. He was the one that bathed me. He was the one that was washing my clothes, doing practically everything in the house. He was the one sweeping the house. What he does every morning before he leaves, he had to cook. After cooking, he will give me morning food, keep my afternoon food by the side, and when he comes back in the evening, he will also feed me for that day. So it was really hectic for him. And today, I want to say a very big thank you to you, my Ephizi. You've really, in fact, there is nobody, had it been, it was not you, I don't think there is any other person I can live with. So that was how we continued till after that 2 weeks. Then I went to the hospital again. And that same doctor that checked again. And this time around, he said that there was a heartbeat. The joy was so evident. In fact, I screamed to the extent the whole nurses in the hospital had to come to the doctor's office to ask what was going on. So then my baby is still there. And that was how the journey continued. The baby was kicking. The baby was growing very well. And then after my first trimester, that was even when the real drama began. Each time I'm walking on the road, anything I see, I want to taste that thing. There was one day I have this mad craving for fried yam. It was in the morning, and usually in the morning, they don't fry yam in the morning. I didn't even have yam in the house that day to fry. So, as I was in the house, I just perceived the smell of yam somewhere. My people, I carried my 2 legs and went to that place to beg them for yam. It was that bad. And when I got there, when I begged for the yam, they gave me, I collected the yam and I finished the yam. And that was it. So we continued. Every day I go to the antenatal, they will check me, say the baby is okay, I'm doing very well. Yes, and then COVID came. Initially, we were hearing the stories outside the country, nothing in Nigeria. So to me, it was not that bad. It was until the time they say we had the first case, then the second case, and then the third case. And then at the hospital, they say we should not be coming for group antenatal again. Hey, that was when the matter became serious. But then, finally, dawned on me the day I went for antenatal. And the nurses that normally when you go for antenatal, the way they will talk to you, play with you, that day this nurse was wearing one nose mask that even covered his whole face. Before they can even touch you, they will first of all use sanitizer, wash their hands, then wear glove. If it's even possible, they will also use sanitizer to bathe you. You don't even talk to anybody again. Or they say no more discussion. We even stop our antenatal classes. I was in my mind, I say, why would this sickness come now that I'm pregnant? In fact, what is the meaning of this now? I was so stressed up. Oh. I was really, really stressed up, as in very, very stressed up. But then God still made name for himself. And I finished my second trimester and entered my third trimester. By the time I got to my third trimester, I was already ready. In fact, I was already tired. I could not wait for my baby to come out. So I was waiting every day. I would keep checking every week. I would, in my mind, I would say, okay, it's remaining 14 more weeks. The next one I would check, it's just 13 weeks to go. Then finally, it got to the day that was supposed to be my EDD, the day I was supposed to give birth. As a pregnancy JJCO, that day I carried my bag and everything and went to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, I told them that I have come to give birth. The nurses there, they looked at me, they realized, they asked me, am I feeling any contraction? I said, no contraction at all. Oh. So they asked, did you see show? I said, there was no show. And I just came to give birth that today, 18 July, is my EDD. So that is why I carried myself to come to this place to give birth. They started laughing at me. I said, why are they laughing now? Is it not supposed to be on the EDD that you come and give birth? My people, you will not understand though. I could not wait to see my baby. Oh, it was very, very, in fact, I was anxious to see my baby, to hold my baby in my hands. So that day, the nurses, they sent me home. They said that it's not yet time. Since I'm not feeling any kind of labor, I'm not feeling any form, I'm not seeing any signs of labor, that it is not yet time for me to give birth. And that was how I went home, and I coached another 2 weeks in the house. This baby refused to come out. He just stayed there. He was busy enjoying staying inside his mommy's stomach. That one, at first, I was not bothered. But then, my friend and the two of us got pregnant almost at the same period, gave birth. Another person, in fact, almost all the people that all of us were going for antenatal together, all of them started giving birth one after the other. I did not see anything, no. Then one day, I did not feel my baby's movements for a whole day. I was like, what was happening? My baby that don't used to stay one place, that one that would be running from my stomach, one side of my stomach to another. I did not feel any movements. I carried myself kia to the hospital. I don't even want to hear stories. As I go to the hospital, the doctor checked and said, okay, I'm going to do a scan. But this time around, it's not going to be the normal scan. This scan, what do they even call that scan? I say, whether it's a something, is not the normal scan that they do. This one, when they go there, they will check everything. Then usually you have to score 10/10 or at least 8/10 for them to be sure that the baby is still okay. And when I got there, after everything, they say yes, that my baby was still okay. Then finally, I went for my last antenatal on Thursday. On getting there, by then my pregnancy was already, that should be 42 weeks. So the doctor say, okay, that since this baby has exceeded the EDD and now 42 weeks, that there is need for them to induce me. That if my labor doesn't start, they are going to induce me. I was afraid of the inducement, and I was also happy at the same time that because very soon I'm going to get to see my baby. So I was asked to go home and stay, that if by the next day I don't feel any kind of labor pain, that I should come back for inducement. So that was it. So that was how that journey finally progressed till that day. And being pregnant was fun for me. Yes, it was fun for me. Because all the people that used to complain that they vomit, they get sick every morning, they were feeling so tired, I did not feel any of them. I was so strong. I was looking so beautiful. In fact, I was practically eating everything apart from fish and meat. I was eating everything apart from fish and meat. So this is how I'm going to be ending the video for today. In my next video, we are going to talk about labor. There are so many things that nobody can ever tell you about labor. That is what we are going to be talking about in my next video. Till I come your way again, this is Uju, your favorite baby girl on the year next door. Please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so that when I upload my next video, you are going to see it. That girl that you have by your side, that girl that you have before you, that girl that is staying there with you, please do take care of her. She is your responsibility. See you soon. Bye.